Hello everyone, I am Gülhis.
Hello everyone, I'm Adrian.
We're gonna talk about today what does success mean for us? What motivates us in our professional life?
And
What
talk, let it flow, let it be the conversation.
exactly? We just came up with no plan at all. It's gonna be pretty genuine conversation. And
Actually, we were
Adrian,
talking about work,
exactly.
so we are gonna continue talking about this.
Yes, and Adrian, you are comparing to me like in the beginning of your professional journey, and I have almost like 10 years of experience. I think it's gonna be a great conversation so we can bring up two different perspectives. How do you feel about your professional life at this moment?
First of all, I think you have a lot more to say because I don't even have a year of experience. I am literally starting, but I feel so lucky and yeah, extremely privileged because I'm working since the minute number one in my field and in what I studied. I don't know how do you see this because you are from another country, but in Spain, the situation is really difficult for young people. And when we finish our degrees or our educational cycle, it's really hard to find a job in your field. Like the most of people go to a bar, like waiter or more normal jobs, not really related with your studies. So I will be always grateful to have the opportunity to go abroad and find this company that eventually hired me. And now I'm working from Spain remotely, and that's a completely like a huge privilege for me because I see my friends' situations and they are exhausted, frustrated, overwhelmed. It's so frustrated. So even though I have my own complaints, because we are always complaining about things, I'm very lucky. And I really want to continue in this company because I think I can get a lot of experience that it will be nice for my future. But yeah, that's my situation. You
I
have,
felt like I am interviewing you, like.
but you have 10 years, so I'm sure you can talk a lot more about this.
Yeah, I mean, of course, like experience matters, but also I am sure you have also things to share because you have fresh perspective. I have been always like success driven person. Wanted to go to X high school, X university. I wanted to work at X company and I was able to achieve. Like I really focused on that part and I sacrificed some things in my life. And I was lucky with it. I worked at good companies with exceptional people, inspirational people. So it's been great experience for me. And of course, sometimes it's hard to get motivated. Sometimes you feel so inspired, you want to contribute more, you feel so excited, or you feel so exhausted sometimes. So what changed for me recently, like I learned how to set boundaries, how to prioritize myself, my relationships with people, balance this work and life.
But since you moved to Sweden, how been to find a job there, like starting from scratch
Yeah.
with your life? Because you are talking about these jobs that you had in Turkey, or are you talking in general?
Yeah, I moved to Stockholm with a job offer when I was working at McKinsey. I relocated within same role, same
Mm-hmm.
company, just names and faces changed for me. And I had a like a really nice expat life. And then I got laid off, so this is when a challenge has started for me. And I think like it is so important to know what your strengths are and what you are passionate about and keep doing these things. I think it is very important to chase opportunities in line with your strength and your passion. So, it kind of gives you energy to keep going. Otherwise, it is so challenging to resist all these things. No worries.
When you was talking about this, it came up to my mind other book that I haven't read, but I know about it. I don't know if you know it. It's called Ikigai.
Ah, yeah.
It's basically this that you said. It's like taking your hobbies, your passions, what you can get money, and mixing all of them, and you get like your ikigai, that it's like your purpose. When you are gonna be happy, you're gonna feel gratification because you are happy in the world, and you're gonna get paid.
It's
So
like,
that's your ikigai. That's ideal, but it's really
yeah.
hard to, of course, get at that point.
I love that book as well. And for me, like I've been HR professional, like professional development person in people departments. And after layoff, I decided to have my own coaching business, coaching, breath work. I wanted to mix this because I felt so alive. I felt like I can contribute on this. So when I was doing that, I met with the founder of my current company. We had interview for another role, but because of my background and current efforts, they thought it would be a great opportunity for me to be personal growth coach for researchers and building coaching and consultation platform for them. So it didn't like come to me out of nowhere. I love what I'm doing. It is so aligned with what I am passionate about, but it didn't come to me like out of nowhere. So I think first knowing yourself, practicing your strengths, like your skills, and then acting, just sharing with people, putting yourself out there. So then you attract opportunities and possibilities outside you. Like, have you done something like that? I know you have some passions about some areas. Does it
Yeah,
resonate with you?
but I was thinking that we can like take a conclusion that maybe it's true that when you are yourself and you are showing your personal, like really you're yourself with even in the this field like job, a professional area, you're attracting these things that, and I think you are really right at this point that maybe someone, like for example in your current company, sees this potential on you and your passion, and you're gonna be better at your work because you're working on something that you really like and you are passionate about. That's the main thing of Ikigai, no? If you really don't like gardening
Mhm.
and your work and you apply for this and you are doing this, but you are motivated, you're I don't know, this feeling like you're losing your life,
Yeah.
it's frustrating. This is a silly example, but if you do what you are passionate about, and it's not easy, I know, you're gonna be, of course, happier and motivated to do your work.
I experienced burnout when I was at McKinsey, even if I loved my work. So it was high demanding, fast paced environment with like highly skilled people and demanding people. And I was one of them also, but I didn't know how to prioritize myself, how to set boundaries, and I experienced burnout, obviously. It also taught me how to really set boundaries even if you love what you are doing, because just loving doesn't mean that you're gonna do non-stop and you're gonna enjoy it. That there are other also elements in life that you should keep in balance. So I just wanted to mention that. And you, like I say you, but in general. So I learned this on the way because, like, when you're a little bit junior, you are trying to prove yourself by overperforming. Maybe not your generation. I don't know. Maybe there is a little bit generational difference. And I love how new generation is managing all these different tasks, and they are really multitasking and they communicate it so clearly and directly. I love that. It is so important. Like, how do you feel about it, by the way, as a young professional in your career? Like, do you think you can manage challenging conversations with your managers and with your colleagues?
You know, it's really different because I started with an internship, and I know you know it because you also had this kind of internships. You are like not taking it that seriously, at least in my case. So I was not that nervous, and I feel relaxed when talking with my superiors, or your bosses or whatever. And these conversations, it was really like flowing. And I mentioned a lot of times that I'm kind of introvert and shy, But I feel in this context really open, and I don't have this fear of expressing my opinions or my thoughts, especially when I'm in an internship, because it's like I feel like the way that you have like you don't have nothing to lose, really. Although you maybe you want to get hired, but you put an extra effort, but I feel more freedom. And now I feel exactly the same way because at the beginning I didn't put that pressure. So now I kind of get used to it and I feel so comfortable talking in this environment and professional communications. But I don't know if that answers your question.
No worries. Yeah, exactly. What makes you feel so alive when you wake up? What makes you feel excited to embrace the day?
It changes over the time, I think. It depends on your current routine and circumstances. For example, now I really like my job, and because as I said, I'm working in what I studied, so I'm learning every day and I really have like this enthusiasm to face the day. And also now specifically I'm starting kind of a fitness journey. So I'm challenging my body. I'm like experimenting with my body as well. And I really wake up every day feeling stronger and I want to go for a run or I want to do my fitness routine. So basically right now what most motivates me it's doing exercise and working in this that I have to say also that at first this company and this world of research, I wasn't that interested. In opposite, I was like, I don't like this. I don't feel it resonates with me. I wanted to, I don't know, explore other fields. But this is the clear proof that you never know and you need to experiment because now that I'm in, I like it and I think it's really important to align your work with some company values that you are aligned to. For example, I wouldn't feel good or I wouldn't be good with myself if I know my company is doing bad things or lying to people. So I think that's like the best thing of this, my current job, right? So
But we
yeah.
should send this record to Kate and Judy after.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's it.
Yes, like I like what I'm doing. Like I like the approach and also I like the startup mindset. We are flexible and we can contribute and it affects the end product, money for the company, let's say. Yeah, I really enjoy it and it is so in line with my personal values and personal ambitions. And also I have my other personal business on the side hand to hand, so this is also like how I find flexibility in this professional life because now I am working as consultant and coach, and I am doing this on the side with other companies. I am leading some other workshops in Sweden as well. So it gives me really flexibility to be myself, to talk about topics that I am passionate about, that I can feel helpful for people. So I cannot complain about current setting.
But and one question that came to my mind. How do you feel about working in this field as a consultant, coaching, personal development in your non-native language? Is difficult for you?
This is a very, very good question, Adrian. I know I have an accent, Turkish accent. I don't sound like native. And in the beginning, it was a little bit more challenging, especially when I moved to Sweden. Of course, I was working with international people, like the main language was English, but speaking English all day, having challenging conversations in English all day, it has been challenging a little bit in the beginning. But now, I don't feel that hard. It is getting better and better
Mhm.
because now I attended a webinar session. Also, like I led workshops at universities. I'm gonna have another one in 2 weeks. Like I was so nervous in the beginning and I just prepared so much. I was like trying to memorize and checking my pronunciation. But now I don't feel that stress. I think this is the good part. I always believe that we have to challenge ourselves. If something feels so comfortable, it's good to enjoy this. But also, I observe improvement in my feelings, like when I have coaching session or a consultation session with clients. And
Of
also,
course.
one note on that, I mostly have sessions with expats. Their native language is not English. I think
Mhm.
it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Maybe easier, maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, what about you? How do you feel about working in English but not in Spanish?
It's it's sometimes frustrating because I really like English, and during my whole life I've been like learning and listening to music and TV shows, etc. But I feel this frustration when I want to express my ideas, my thoughts, and I really like to express myself in Spanish. I wish you could hear me and understand me because I feel I'm good expressing myself, and finding the right words to express what I'm thinking or feeling. But in English, of course, that's much limited to these words that I have learned. So, and of course, it's getting better with the time. As you said, it's part of your personal development. It's challenging. I also really like this job because I'm talking in English and I'm working in English and I really like it. I feel if I were in Spain again, not talking in English, it would get worse. So, yeah, I like it. But I have to confess that I use a translator for a lot of things because as I'm making marketing and public things, I want to make sure that I'm using the correct grammar. So it's,
Thankfully, there are AI
of
tools.
course, yeah, obviously I need to make sure that it's correct.
Same
So
for me actually, because also communication has been one of my strengths in my whole life. I also felt so comfortable with playing words in Turkish. So also it feels natural to communicate in your own language, like even your personality changes. I was leading a Turkish breathwork session. So I am married to a Swede and we speak English, Swedish at home. And he was just laying next to me, and I was just, having this session in Turkish. And he was like, "Wow, you have a like totally different personality when you speak in Turkish." I was like, "Yeah,
this
like
is another topic that there is a lot of studies behind that our personality changes
yeah,
depending on the language that we're talking. We have like two different brains, like we act different and we say different things. That's really interesting.
yeah, exactly." But yeah, we just started with professional life, come to languages, and let's finish with what do you want to do different to reach your professional goals? It is another episode.
That's a difficult question.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Think
I'm
about this.
fine. Yeah. I'm fine for now. Like, of course, I expect or I have other projects that I would like to reach, but I'm really conscious about time and perspective. And now I know that I need to take things easy and enjoy what I'm doing. So by now, I'm letting be and it will come and more things. So I don't know by now. I want to ask you a question, the last
Yeah,
question.
ask.
How do you see yourself in 5 years in your professional field?
Actually, I have a really good picture of me. I am just having group sessions, workshops, leading also in person workshops in some corporate environments, and I have a business going on, coaching, training, consultations. I'm also independent, collaborating with other people, just talking, sharing my wisdom. Yeah, this is how I see myself. I am just on the stage and
It's good.
sharing with people. Yeah, and I'm
So,
excited.
yeah, it's good that you have this picture of you because then you can act and do some things to achieve that. That's
So thanks so much for the session, Adrian.
yeah, thank
So
you.
we're gonna have the last episode next week. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be 10 episode, and then we're gonna have seasonal break a little bit.
But stay tuned.
Exactly. Bye.
Bye.